I did work on campaigns at a congressional level and
Sure.
state level, but I was still always involved with what was going on in San Bernardino.
And this is all throughout that time as well? Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we were trying to help the community, and in 2018, I did run for city council
Oh, yeah.
because I saw that nothing was changing.
Mm.
Like we were hitting a lot of roadblocks, and we needed like an inside person to give give support, or like at least
Shine a light on it.
yeah, and open doors for people that are doing the work in the community.
Can you give me more of an understanding of kind of like what that experience was like trying to run for the office position?
For city council.
Yeah.
It was a hard decision, because you have to like really put yourself out there
Sure.
and put all your time. And luckily, I was babysitting for my sister. My
Mm.
niece was 2 years old, or almost two at the time. But I had the flexibility to be able to commit time to campaigning. I
Mm.
joke that my niece was my campaign manager.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it was a struggle, and it was all grassroots. Like,
Yeah.
I raised money from like my family and friends,
Mm.
and maybe like a few um, local groups. And I did get a lot of union support, which I was proud of.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just my family and like 10 volunteers that helped me canvas pretty much every
I was
weekend.
in Arizona, but I would have, the squad would have came through. Um, you're you're fighting for a change, trying to do something, trying to do your part here. But you're always like you mentioned here, right? Like you started off being like this shy girl, just kind of reserved, focus on your studies. Um, uh, I imagine this is like nerve wracking, right?
Well,
Or
I think the Girl Scouts
oh, okay.
helped me overcome the shyness,
Mm,
and because I would have to sell cookies door to door,
yeah.
and got used to that rejection. Or like
Yeah.
having to ask people, and then doing the voter registration, like just going out there asking people. I think that really helped me practice
Sure.
just going for it.
But I imagine that like looking back, right? If you were that girl again and you told yourself like, hey, someday you might be running
Yeah.
city council,
even like
that's awesome.
even 2 years prior, I probably wouldn't have believed it, because I was like, no, I had the mentality like, yeah, that's not gonna be me.
Right.
But like so many things like happened with the city, and just it just kept getting worse, and I told myself, you know what, I have to do this, and no one asked me, because there's like a lot of people say like, oh, like you have to be asked 5 times or
Right.
whatever,
Right.
but like no one asked me to run. Someone actually asked if my dad would run, because they thought like because he does stuff in the community, and
Right.
his name, like he has a his name or something is like favorable. And my dad was like, I don't, like I just asked him like because I was curious, and he was like, I don't have a good poker face, so
uh,
I'm good.
I think I think that someone going out there trying to do something right for the community is not easy per se, and especially in the environment that we're kind of in. Um, and this was in 2018. Next year, the year after, COVID hits, right? Um, what does the community look like now? What was kind of like uh, uh, the aftermath of kind of like um, that whole, like how did COVID hit kind of you and your family and the obviously your community in San Bernardino?
Well, I was very lucky that I lived at home
Sure.
and I had family support, and both of my parents were able to work from home
Mm.
and like easily transition
Mm.
into that, and we were like taken care of, and my sister, um, she was taken care of, and um, but I know a lot of people struggled at that time, and like
Mm.
um, like everyone jokes about it, but like the like not being able to find basic things like toilet paper, like that's rough.
Right.
And we're used to like being able to have access to all these things, and
Right.
now it's just like um you can't find the basic. I know like meat, like some people couldn't find meat, and I was like thankfully like I'm like moving towards a vegetarian
Sure.
diet.
Everything
All
though.
that stuff was at the store.
Perfect storm. Yeah. Um, and I guess my one of my final questions here. You mentioned you have a niece, um, um, and she's probably what 5, 6 now, Raja?
I have a niece and a
Oh
nephew.
wow,
So my niece is 5, and she just started school, and
wow.
she already got an award
Oh wow.
for being like a good student.
You're probably like an A1 babysitter. See, you got her set up for success.
And my nephew, he's 3, and I hang out with him at home when
So
I'm not doing stuff.
so what does your life look like now? Kind of seeing your family grow, um, kind of where you're at like currently from the experiences and the life that you kind of been through. Um, yeah, kind of what's been in your purview?
Well, my niece and nephew definitely give me more um, motivation
Mm,
to help improve the future, because we all want a better future for them and their generation,
mm,
and yeah, we don't want them to struggle like we did, and like
yeah.
leave this place better than it was before.
And are you still part of your advocacy group, or what has been
Well, everyone's kind of like doing doing great stuff,
sure.
but it's been hard to come together.
Yeah. And what have you been what are you currently doing right now?
Well, I just finished working on a campaign
Mm,
for Derek Marshall. He was running for Congress
mm.
in the high desert and other areas.
So so you kind of got this kind of congressional thing down. I mean, not in a way, but you kind of understand how to get people out there. Was it an easy run? Was it a hard run or
No, it was definitely
a
it was
challenge run?
definitely challenging. The candidate was like one of the best candidates to work for.
Mm,
He's so hardworking, passionate, community first,
yeah.
and like talks to everyone like his equal.
Mm,
Because I've definitely seen people in the community or politicians like they kind of like talk down to people, but he's not like that at all. He's very humble
mm.
and doing the work, and
That's
um,
awesome. So then, yeah. So, what's the dreams? What's the goals? Where do you kind of see yourself in the future
well,
now?
yeah, I'm
No.
kind of like at that place again where I'm like open,
Mm,
like wait, looking for a new opportunity. Like the results are still coming in, so we'll see if he wins. I might work in his office. If he doesn't win, maybe I'll start go back to film and
mm.
do some like video work or
Yo, that
something.
sounds like I've done. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That sounds awesome. Um, and I've seen some. I think I've seen some of your content that you put up. Again, like just the goal of just trying to be more advocacy and stuff, and getting people out there. And I think that's really cool. I think that's really important for people to kind of express their opportunities of being an American that can vote. Whatever side you want to vote on, just voting in general is just a good habit to get into. And I think a lot of people think that you know people who kind of work in the political field, like they just get bankrolls of money here. It's like, but the reality is that no, it's hard work, and it's not. You're not really getting the you don't get to really see the fruits of the labor unless you win. And so, I think that for you sticking out for so long, your journey of continually fighting, continually trying to press on, continually trying to grow, I don't think it should be understated. I think it's actually really noble, especially the fact that like it's interesting, right? You get rejected and you keep pushing on, right? And I imagine when you went through these campaigns and then some lose, some win, whatever, but then you just like, no, okay, keep pushing on. Like you have this mentality of never giving up. Why is that? Like, a lot of people, again, like, what is the thing you mentioned, your niece and nephew? I know that's part of your part, but they weren't obviously always there. But what's been driving you to continue pushing on, to keep pushing forward, even though when life doesn't go your way,
I don't know. I mean, I have like those cerebral moments where I get in my head and like think about stuff, but then sometimes I'm just like, let's just do it. Um, like I was friends with Derek before I joined his campaign, and then I was finishing another job, and I was like, can I join your team? And we're both like, let's just do this. Like, we're just gonna do it. We're not gonna think about it too much. I mean, you obviously have a plan and stuff, but you
Sure.
just kind of like have to just not question it, just go for it.
It's like what they say, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? And so you're just gonna keep taking them. That's so
Hmm.
cool. That's awesome. Looking back at your life, is there anything you would like to mention, any people in your life that you would like to shout out to, just for those who have helped you get to where you are now, or anything you would like to mention of kind of seeing your life and how to where you were to how you become where you are now.
Yeah, there's like so many people that have made an impact on me. So yeah, it's hard to
Sure.
uh like list all those people. Yeah, just like it's been a long journey up until this point.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, then awesome then. Well, hey, look, sometimes it be that way. We have one final thing we like to do with you.
yes.
We have these little cards that we have, some like deep question cards, all right? So we kind of jump into it. It's pretty cool because we get to learn a little bit more about the kind of the way you think about certain deep questions. And so, let's jump into it. So, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Sounds get excited. So, the first one is, uh, what is the last thing? Excuse me. What is the last thing you learned about yourself that surprised you?
Mm, the last thing I learned about myself, well, I could I could get really distracted easily,
Oh,
and um, and I need to like be more organized so I could focus and get more things
dude,
done.
TikTok
Yeah.
is insane, man.
Yeah, it's so easy. Well, I liked when it was a minute because then you're like, okay, this is my last video. It's only a minute, and then after, but now they're like 3, 6, 10 minutes long,
It's rough.
and yeah,
You get sucked in now. Yeah, no, it's rough. Um, I could definitely see how trying to stay focused is hard, especially in the way the world is right now. It's like so difficult just to stay locked in on one task because there's so many things that want your attention. Um, I, I I imagine that's surprising as well. Yeah. Um, what do you think you were born to do, but aren't doing, and why?
dang, that's tough. I think I was born to do something more creative,
Hmm.
um, like I really like painting and um doing crafts and stuff, but I just haven't been able to make time for that.
I think it's interesting because this piece that you brought and you made just on your own. I mean, this is like really really cool. Out of all the paintings that we have that we've done, we've only had two artists who was able to bring in for painting their own pieces here, and you are one of them. And showcasing your art, right? Showcasing your work is again that kind of like scary thing. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
displaying like something that you have built and you have made on your own to the world. But like even what you just said now, he's like, you know, that is something I feel like, man, it's something I feel like I was called to do, but I'm not. But it's cool that you actually are in a way you started. So maybe you just got to keep the momentum, keep it pushing, you know? Um, awesome. Okay. If you could have any job in the world, what would it be and why?
If I could have any job, I would open a vegan ice cream shop
Yo.
because I'm lactose intolerant and I can't. I just realized this when I was like 27, so I can't. I miss like ice cream. I mean, there's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of good options now, but there's no like and a lot of ice cream shops they have like two or three vegan
Yeah.
or like dairy free options, but there's no like full, as far as I know, there's no like full like ice cream shop that has like all dairy free.
But
um
how's that being made? Like,
they use coconut milk, or I've seen
oh, that sounds fire.
avocado. They use like avocados to make it like creamy and provide the fat.
Oh, that's dope. Oh, that might hit. Yeah, I've never tried that before. Um, yeah, I hope we do that. that sounds that sounds good. I'm lactose intolerant. It's a
Oh,
struggle right here. Okay, I used to be slamming cereal back when I was killing them. I remember my first period; it was always bad. I'm just kidding. Um, uh, and then two more. So, right, okay. 15 years from now, how do you think um, your relationship um, with, let's say, your let's say sister will change?
I hope we're still close
Hmm.
and um
That'll be
close with
15 years from
my.
now. What is that? Like, we're probably near probably early 40s, late 30s, right? Something on there.
I'm 34 now, so I would be um
Yeah, 40s. Yeah, and your sister will be in the 40s too.
mhm.
Definitely a wiser time, I imagine.
Yeah. Well, maybe I hope I'm like more easygoing.
Mm.
Like some of the um seniors I know, they're just like, "Oh, who cares? Like it doesn't matter anymore." Like they lose the facade of like
Sure.
all the things that we worry about.
I think it's hard, man. When you're have so many because one of the things I struggle with, right, is that because of social media, right, you kind of like look at others and like, dang, they're killing it. I need to be killing, you know, or like you see like people traveling or you see people doing these things, right, and obviously it's all facade. It's not real. It's like none of this is right, and so for me, I can kind of feel like, man, it'd be nice just to not just worry, you know, and just appreciate the day and appreciate the moment, just spend time with people. I'm not sure if that's what you're hinting to, but
Yeah, appreciate what you have.
yeah, just like, hey, man, kind of like the humble beginnings of my ancestors and probably yours as well. Just like, hey, you know, you can appreciate the little things and um, and still strive, you know, strive for more. So I love that answer. And then my final question: when do you feel most alive?
When do I feel most alive? Um, well, actually, one thing I didn't mention, which was a very key thing that I did, I was on the bone marrow registry,
Oh,
and in 2020, I got, or late 2020, I got the call that I matched with someone, and um, I would potentially have to donate um, bone marrow to this person. Um, so I went through all that that process, and in early January 2021, I had to travel to Texas and donate what they call peripheral blood stem cells. where you just you get a series of injections and to boost your these blood stem cells, and then they on the collection day um, they they extract the blood from you, and they take the cells that they need, and then they put the rest back. It's supposed to be a 6 hour process. It only took me 3 hours, thankfully. And it was a struggle because of COVID and all these restrictions. But I was really glad I was able to do that for that person. All I know is that they're a young, now they're 33 years old, hopefully 33 years old, in another country.
Well, so you never got to meet them.
No, and I don't know what their status is or
Mm.
what, because of the, I think because of the boundary, like the out of country, it's hard to get information.
You literally helped save
But
someone's
yeah,
life.
but yeah, I helped save someone's life, and like, it was just something like one of those things. Like I just did it. There was no question. Like when
You,
they asked me, I was like, and they told me all the risk and stuff, and like even my mom was kind of like she supported me, but she was concerned.
yeah,
My friends were concerned. Some of my friends were concerned, but I was like, no, if I'm gonna do this, and there was no question.
that's awesome. You yeah, the whatever happened in Girl Scouts, I'm gonna put my girl in Girl Scouts. Holy cow! Like just the sense of fear is just like it's obviously it's there, but like man, you just charge forward. Um, Alex, I think if I could title your life, it's just that a sense of always charging forward, moving forward. Um, you said these obstacles are in the way. Okay, then I'm gonna run for like you just like what? Like it's just um again this kind of thing that pops into my mind. It's just like even though things there's so much to blame, you just say, hey, so, look, charge forward. I'm gonna make a change. I'm gonna make a difference. I'm gonna go right in even whatever way possible. Um, um, some people say that like it's just one person making a difference is sure not much may change, but it's the small incremental differences over time that at some point in time the tower will fall, right? Like may not be that one push or that second one, but after the 3,671, then that might be the one that just kind of pushes the obstacle over and people can push through. So um, I love the mentality and the journey that you kind of ingrained in yourself that I will move forward and you will keep pushing on. It's really, really cool to see. It inspired me. Um, I don't know if there's anything else you want to add, but I do want to say I love the piece today. Your piece is the one that was donated to our show, and we're really grateful for that. And you get to kind of put yourself on the
Yeah,
wall,
I'm
the wall of
glad to contribute to the wall.
the wall. That's what we're gonna call it. um, and um, and do you want to talk about your piece at all? Is there anything like kind of particular you wanted to mention about it, or why this?
No, I just leave it open to interpretation.
Love it.